Hey guys, it's me Dragon. Today I want to do the final review and conclusion about Yae Miko, so including the simple guide about Yae Miko, what about the bad and good about Yae Miko, is it worth to pull or not? And yeah, so to say in overall, Yae Miko is very quite decent sub DPS Electro. Not so strong but not so weak. It's kind of like very balanced in everything. So again, I think she's kind of same with like starting from Kokomi to Shenhe. All those characters like not necessary to pull, but if you like the gameplay, if you like the character, and if you want kind of have a alternative style of gameplay, you may pull for this character though. So personally, I enjoy it, and yeah, let's get started. So let's start about the talents and the kit about Yae Miko. So we have better understanding about Yae Miko. So let's start with the normal tech. The normal tech actually same with other catalysts. It's just like more unique and looks cooler and fancy. And I want to highlight in charge attack. So charge attack have hidden mechanic where like kinda if you hit like big or long enemy, she can kinda hit multiple times. But sadly we cannot fully utilize his hit because she made for sub DPS, so it's kinda a little bit sad. Now we move to the elemental skill itself, which is Yakan Evocation Seso Sakura. So this is technically Yae will summon kinda a pillar, and then you can kinda put the pillar up to 3. So this is actually very similar with Oz, where that pillar later will strike to the enemy, and then it will dealing electro damage time to time. So it's very same with how Official worked in for the Oz one. And take note, if you put like the Seso Sakura nearby, it will increase their level of the pillar though. So let's say if you put 2 pillar nearby, it will become 2 level 2. If you put 3, then it will become level 3. And take note, cannot be also too close because it will destroy. So not it's nearby but not so close. And take note why it's important, because the level actually increase the damage of the pillar itself though. So that's very good. But the duration is not really problem for me. Let's move to the elemental burst though, the great sacred art Tenko Kenshin. Actually in here very similar also with Kujo Sara elemental burst, where this Candle will summon a very big thunderbolt AoE electro damage and it will heal multiple times. It's same like that. And it's also when you use the elemental burst in here, Yae Miko will kinda destroy the Seso Sakura and it will give more damage to the burst itself though. So let's say if you put like the pillar, 3 of them, and then you summon the elemental burst, it will create more bonus for the elemental burst itself, which is good but also bad because the tower is gone. So yeah, we can see in here the skill damage, it's quite high honestly, but the cooldown also high and energy goes quite high. So this is kind of nuke type of skill. Let's move to the passive though. In here, when you casting a great secret Tenko Kenshin, each Sakura destroy reset cooldown for the one charge. So this is mean like if you use this and you have the pillar one will get resetted. So that's why I say the cooldown is not really a problem, because whenever you use the burst, the cooldown of this one getting resetted. So quite nice. In here, the every point of elemental mastery Yae Miko possess will increase the Seso Sakura damage for 0.15% in here. So this is technically means that if you stack more Yae Miko in elemental mastery, this damage will be higher. That's it though. And in here, just like talent for the book, 20%, quite nice sometimes. Yeah, let's start with the weapon. Actually, for the weapon, I already talked in the past free video. If you want more kinda more my explanation, then I will say, because in here more simple, I will just make it short. So I will say in short, the one that very good is Yae Miko signature weapon, which is the Kagura Verity, but because the critical damage and the effect is it's very good. So that's the first one that I recommend. And then for another 5-star, if you really want to use, then you can use a Skyward Atlas. If not, then you can use Lost Prayer. I think it's fine though. It's pretty okay. Although I will to say both of their effect, it's not really fully utilized, but that's still fine. But let's talk about 4-star. 4-star, I already say again, with Sid, I think it's very good choice option. Even like if you have refinement 5 of this with Sid, I even recommend to kind of put this instead of this one though. So because I have to say, I do couple try the with Sid only rank 3, already same with this my Lost Prayer though. Imagine if it's rank 5, I think it will be more though. It's just that the bad side about this Witsit is the effect is kind of random, it's kind of gacha, so sometimes it become inconsistent though. So yeah, but the subset also very good critical damage though. Other than that, you can try solar pearl because the it will get you critical rate increase and will benefit with the effect of your elemental skill and burst. And also there's a new one, the catalyst, I forgot the name, that's very Japanese. You can use that also, I think that's very good. Other than that, if you're really desperate, then try sacrificial fragment. That's it though. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you say like, how about Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer, I would to say, don't put on Yae Miko. It will give a big loss of the damage that she will deal. Yeah, she may give support to other character, but she will lose a lot of damage. So I will say, please no. So let's move to the artifact. If you ask me what is the best artifact for Yae Miko, I already come to conclusion that I quite believe that the best one for Yae Miko is 2 Thundering Fury and 2 Gladiator Final Ultimate or Reminiscence, where it gives you electro damage bonus 15% and attack 18%. For me, this is very good. Compare if you use like Emblem's Effort Fate, I already tried. Yeah, it's good. It gives you more energy. It's actually more comfy, honestly. But the gap between elemental skill and elemental burst, it's quite wide, which is, it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit loss of the damage itself though. Compare I use this, Yae Miko will hit like quite decent amount of elemental burst and quite decent damage for elemental skill, so it's more stable for me. So yeah, but I have to say those two sets actually already decent. So whether you want 2 Thundering Fury or with Gladiator Final or Seminal Reminiscence or Emblems of Fate, I think that's a second option, but that's still totally fine for me. There's one more set that actually I don't prefer because not suit my playstyle, but if you like that kind of playstyle, then that's fine. So if you feel like you like to playing the E skill or the elemental skill for more, like the tower thingy, then just put 2 Thundering Fury and 2 Wanderer troops though for the elemental mastery, and just going all of them in full in elemental mastery, but that's only make the E skill is strong, but it's not balanced again. It has a little bit problem with the emblem separate fate. So yeah, if you like it, that's also fine. Yeah, there's other thing that maybe you try Thunder Shooter. I already say in the past video, but I say I really try. I don't really recommend it. Some of the people say, how about Millilith? I would say please no. It's not work like that for Yae Miko. So let's start with the main set where the things become a little bit more complicated. So in here you cannot change, right? This flower also you cannot change. In here, this is where the problem is. Some of people say, should we use Sense of Attack, Elemental Mastery, or Energy Recharge? This has become very interesting. I already tried 3 of them, and I will say, in short, the best one is attack percentage. I will say here's why. First, Elemental Mastery. People say, oh, just stack Elemental Mastery so make it Yae Miko strong. Yes, strong, but where? It's only buff her elemental skill or the tower itself though. That means the burst didn't get any benefits that much though. It's only get benefit when you do reaction, but other than that, it's not giving that much. So it's not really very consistent. So I also say it's quite a trap, so please no. But if you really play maybe reaction, then that's still a little bit acceptable. But if not, in general, attack percentage still good. And they say, how about energy recharge? Because Yae Miko have problem with the energy gain or the energy cost is big or whatever. I'll say yes, but I already tried. Yae Miko lost a lot of damage though. This energy charge may still work if you put offset of emblem separate fate, but if you decide to run Thundering Fury and Shimenawa or Gladiator, just use Intech instead and find a good subset of energy recharge, because if not, Yae Miko will lose a lot of damage though. In here, for sure, electro damage bonus. Please no elemental mastery. Electro damage bonus more general. And in here, as usual, it depends what you need. If you think like, oh, I need more crit rate, then put more crit rate. If you need crit damage, then crit damage. Then for me, a good ratio is if crit rate is more 50-60%, and then after that, just put invest in everything in critical damage. Now another question, if you ask me, what is the best energy charge for Yae Miko since the energy cost of her is quite high? I agree. You need to invest couple of energy charge for her. For me, if you pair with Raiden, 140, 150 you should have no problem. But if you not put with Yae, that where the problem is. You need more than that, probably around 180 to 200. And that's why probably if you don't want to pair with Raiden Shogun, maybe put Emblem Severed Fate is quite nice. So let's start with the Constellation. So the Constellation of the C1 is actually when you cast the Elemental Burst, Yae Miko will get back the 8 Elemental Energy. So let's say you have a lack of energy charge, this might help you to get back your energy and maintain the 100% uptime of the burst. So this is fine. So C2 I think that we want it more interesting, which is like the Seso Sakura or the Pillar one will start at the level 2 and their max level will increase up to 4. That means the Pillar Tower damage will be higher and also the attack range will be bigger. So this will just make it elemental burst, elemental skill more strong. If you feel like you like to play the elemental skill, the turret one, then you may go up to C2 though. C3 just increase the level of elemental skill. C4 for me, it's just like when you cast the Suso Sakura and hit the opponent, you'll get the electric damage bonus for 20% for all the party for 5 seconds. For me, it's quite good, but it's only 5 seconds, quite fast. So for me, it's not really that worth. So C5 is increase the elemental burst for me, and that's good. And this one, the Seso Sakura attacks will ignore 60% of the opponent defense C6. This is actually pretty good. That means the elemental skill, the pillar one, when you hit the enemy, it will kind of ignore 60% though, which is very good for me. It's same with Raiden Shogun C2 though. So here's the conclusion about Constellation, which one that worked. If you really like only utilize for the burst, then going for C1 is the best stop, or C0 just fine though. If you really like to utilize the turret or the pillar elemental skill, something like that, then you may stop at C2 or C6 though. Other than that, it's not worth to stop at C4. So just choose C2 or C6. So let's move to the team comp. In general, Yae Miko is very good part if you pair with Raiden Shogun. So that's good if you have Raiden Shogun, you can make them as a partner. And other than that, it's quite hard to pair also with Yae Miko because she's quite kind of demanding some of things. So there's no much a team that I recommend, but at least this is one that can kind of inspire you to do in Abyss, not like for fun team. This is like that Yae Miko might run quite optimal. So I will start. This is the first one where Raiden Shogun, Yae Miko, Kazuha, and Bennett though. So in here, Kazuha will of course will sword the Electro, so it will become more damage, and of course Bennett will buff the Electro, so it becomes stronger. Other than that, you can try, if you don't have Kazuha, just change to Sucrose. And also I have another team where I use like this though, Shincho instead of Sucrose. So this is Electro Charge and buff with Yae Miko for and Raiden Shogun, something like this is also work. And other than that, you can try with Kokomi and Sucrose or Kazuha. Both of them is fine, but if you put Kazuha, it will become very expensive team, so I don't recommend that though at all. Other than that, you can also try with Mono Electro, and I then put Bennett in here, but I don't really a fan of Mono Element team, so it's up to you though, except Mono Geo I like. And you can try also the one that I try, it's a little bit funny, Kokomi. This is also where it works, especially if you just want to electro recharge, something like that. You may run with Eula, Yae Miko, Shanghe, and Bennett, although I still think like Raiden Shogun is better in here, or official, but this is also fine if you really want to run. Then here's the review. I will start with the pros or the good about this character though. First is because Yae Miko is very popular character though. I think that's a very good word. She's very attractive, very good design. So yeah, that's what the first one. Second is strong outfield top DPS. I would just say if you need another alternative official, then she might be one of it though, because she dealt quite decent amount of elemental skill and very high in elemental burst. So both of them is quite good though. And also the third one, she's good with the quick swipe team though. I will say if you like to play quick swipe, like keep changing the team, like not staying on field, and Yae Miko will be very good. And also the new team also can work very well with Yae Miko. The con is she's pretty niche, which is like she might most of the time works with the only with Raiden, something like that though. You can pair with other, but it might not really that optimal. So it's not really that universal. There's no much choice of the team comp of Yae Miko currently, so that makes a little bit, yeah, a little bit weakness. And then second is She need quite long setup for sub DPS. If you compare to Shincho, where you just like E and the Q and then like something like, or Xiangling Boba and then like Pyronado Kazuha E Q. That's it though. But in Yaimiko you have to three times and then do the burst and then three times. So it's quite longer in term for sub DPS. But if you used to it, maybe that's become no problem at all. The third one is didn't impact for a new gameplay though. So I know some of the people want a new way to play in Genshin Impact, like how kinda E2 will bring Mono Geo team kinda like revolutionary, but this one in here there's nothing really changed because she's similar with Fischl, so it's quite become flat again in terms of gameplay. There's nothing changed though. It's just like alternative. So let's move to the reason where you should pull or not pull of Yae Miko. So the first reason for you to pull Yae Miko is because if you like Yae Miko, if you sim for Yae Miko, you like Yae Miko as a waifu, trust me, just pull for her. I really like Yae Miko and I pull. I have no regret and trust me because I know maybe Yae Miko is a little bit not what I expect because I really like her. Trust me, it's really worth. So just pull it. And second is, if you need additional for sub DPS though, as what I told you before in my video before, you need more sub DPS than main DPS in a good team though. So if you still kinda lack of sub DPS, then you might think Yae Miko because she deal quite decent amount of elemental skill and burst, so quite good of sub DPS. And third one, if you have Raiden Shogun especially, you may think Yamiko as another character that you can pull because she can really fit with Raiden Shogun. So you will have alternative team. Maybe you tired or bored with your old team. You want another things to do. Need alternative team. Yeah, Yamiko can be a good one. Let's move to the reason for you to not pull. So the first reason is if you look for alternative or even better electro team like Visual C6 or Sarah C6, I don't really recommend you to pull Yae Miko though. Because so far as my testing right now, Sarah or Visual C6 still a little bit better than Yae Miko C0. Unless you want to go in for Yae Miko C2, then whereas I think Yae Miko can be better than them though. Second, if you are meta slave and or competitive person, I don't really recommend to pull Yae Miko because I think Yae Miko is very like a casual character where maybe casual player just want to enjoy her, something like that. Like very balanced character, not really good for meta that really want to reach very high numbers. So because I know some of you very influenced like content creator that they count every single thing like how they attack, move, whatever, even fight. Maybe I don't know. Will be disappoint you, so don't pull if you're very competitive or metas. Like the third one, if you find a new team, like you think, oh, maybe Amiko can be better to make my team better, make it more efficient, especially in my abyss, I will say no. She's kind of only character that can work as a substitute or alternative. She didn't really impact in anything. So whether you pull or not pull her, nothing will change though. She's just like alternative. So I don't really recommend if you want to look for a better team or something like that. So in conclusion, I would say Yae is very balanced character. Nothing really very strong, nothing really very bad either. She's just like very neutral. So just see if you really like the gameplay. If you really like her, then just pull for her. Nothing to regret also. But if you feel like if you still feel your heart still not sure, then just don't pull it. I think it's not really that necessary like other characters. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time and make sure to hit subscribe button and like. Bye.